have another guest here in the building, and he is a multi-talented, no, not even multi-talented. He's a triple threat. He's a model, a singer, and an actor, and he's here to talk to you guys. He goes by the name of Ogyny. I don't know if you guys have seen Men's Club. He's been there, and he's also acted in a few series, and he's here to grace the occasion today. So today I'll be talking to Ogyny. Don't go anywhere. My name is Marianne. This is TV Independent. Okay, guys, welcome back to the show, and I still have with me Ogyny. Yes, he's excited to
That's
talk to
what's
you
up.
guys.
That's what's up.
We
That's
want to
what's
know
up.
what makes Ogyny Ogyny, and how you started your journey so far. How you are a triple threat. Yeah, you're not
That's what that's what you've decided to call it, right? Triple threat.
Yes, he's aren't you?
It sounds really nice.
It is.
Be like say I go begin use that. What's up, people? How you doing? It's your boy Ogyny, aka the Chief Rocker. That's what's up. Okay, so back to your question.
Yes.
How did I come about the name Ogyny?
Yes.
Okay, I'm born Ogyny Oluwaseun David.
Yeah.
Ogyny is my surname, but Ogyny is also my stage name. It's just the spelling that is different. And I go see the difference when
Okay,
they
you were
write
born.
out.
Okay, you were born Ogyny.
Oluwaseun David.
O-G.
Ogyny, but the stage name is spelled Ogyny.
Okay, what does Ogyny mean?
According to my father,
Yes.
Ogyny means a great man. He's not one of those very cheap Yoruba names. He's a very deep and expensive Yoruba name. Only few of us, share the name.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this question because
Yeah.
I know most people would be wondering why did you choose to go with the name Ogyny? Why
Okay,
that name?
there's a story. There's actually a story behind that.
Okay, let's hear it.
When I was much younger, the truth is I wish I could change my name because, as you can see, Ogyny is not the regular Yoruba name. For a long time, even up until now, I met somebody here today when I said I'm from Osun State. Like, Ogyny is Igbo. You can imagine.
I was about to say that.
You can imagine.
Yeah.
So while I was much younger, they called me all sorts. Ogyny, everything that sounded like OGEN, whatever. They called me all sorts. So I actually didn't really like it. And there was a time when I was in a class and then, they were about to teach Igbo class. And then I left. And a lot of people were like, aren't you Igbo? Why are you leaving? Don't you want to? You get? So for a very long time, it was a name that I didn't like. It was a name that I wish I could change. I wish I had a regular Adewale or Lawale, the regular Yoruba name. And so when that time came, when I started music professionally, we're thinking about, okay, what name should I use? What name should I not use, and all that. In my mind, I'm like, okay, my name is Seun Ogyny. Why don't I just funkify it?
Yeah.
I'm saying it for the first time here on TV.
You heard that first here.
So
on
the
TV
name was
Independent.
the name was supposed to be Sean Oggins.
Which
I
would have
think-
been cool, by the way.
But I think about that now, and it sounds really funny. But the truth is, if that was the name that I chose to use,
Would he have gotten you far now?
any name that I chose, I'm sure would have gotten me this far. Do you understand? Even Ogyny still sounds strange to people. Sean Oggins would have even made more sense to people because Sean, everybody knows Sean. And so I was going to take Sean from Seun and then Oggins from my surname Ogyny. But we sat down because I am the type that believes that two heads are better than one. That's what they say. But I would say two good heads are better than one. So I sat down with my big brother and mentor, Zidane. I'm sure everybody knows Zidane Paparella. Yeah, he's my big brother in the industry and all. So we thought about it. So it was the one who said, why don't you use your surname, like the name Ogyny? Because, while you're in secondary school, people call you by your surname.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So before you know it, that your surname just goes everywhere, yeah? But funny enough for me, when I was in secondary school, a lot of people didn't even know my real names because I had a nickname that they called me Kanu. I used to play soccer for my school, and then I looked so much like him. I played like him.
Oh, you have the height too.
Trust me, if you see some of my very old pictures, you would know that I really looked like Kanu at some point. And when I started keeping dreadlocks, they started calling me Adebayo. So so a lot of people didn't really. I had an episode where one of my teachers, I think it was, I was still in junior secondary school back there. I can remember vividly. I think it was my business studies teacher. She came into the class and she was like, Kanu, you did not submit your your assignment. I'm like, excuse me, my name is not Kanu. My name is Ogyny.
Yeah.
You guess, so she was expecting to see, like, so people got used to that. But like I said, a lot of people still called me by that surname. People who knew what my surname was. So, and what my surname is rather. And so Zidane now said, why don't you use your surname? I'm like, okay, that's true. It sounds artistic. Why don't you use that, blah, blah. And then that was when we decided that, okay, if at all we're going to use your surname, we'd need to change the spelling for easy pronunciation, because even people who just hear the name have difficulty in pronouncing it. So if you put like the Y behind the N and G, and and so that's how we came about it. So it's just my name.
All right. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how grateful are you to have chosen that name?
I'm very grateful to my lineage, so to say, because the
And to have not changed it to
Shonogins. So the name just has guess what? Before my father died, before he passed on, he called me by that name. All of my siblings, they call me by that name, like it's not just. You understand? So it's like I'm trying to. It's like I'm the person that's really, really glorifying the name, kind of now. So, like I said, it's a very unique name. It's not common. We have a few people that we know who also bears that name, like Femi Ogyny Ibadan.
Yeah.
There's one man they call Ogyny Allen. They all share the same. So it's not very.
Popular name.
Yeah, but those people also made it kind of popular because they are very popular people.
All right. So Ogyny, tell us about your music career.
Music career. So
Okay,
where
before
would
we
you?
talk about the music career?
Okay.
Let's break it down this way. It's a triple threat, like I told you guys. let's start from the modeling.
Oh,
You're a model.
yes.
How did you start that?
Oh, okay. I'm glad you're starting with that.
Yes.
Because professionally, as an entertainer, that was the first thing I started with. I started modeling the moment I finished secondary school, and that's a long time ago.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. I've always known about modeling. I see these people on TV. I've always had the height, and then people were always, walking up to me and asking, "Are you a model?" and all of that. And I see all of these things on TV. I liked, So now there's this. There was a girl I met at my jam center.
Always a girl.
Well, but there was this girl I met at my jam center back in the days, and then I think it was when GSM just started, and then so she had a phone, I had a phone, and so we were always talking. She was already a model, she was a modeler, and so when I wanted to start, she was the person who I then spoke to. I'm like, okay, I don't know how to go about this. I'm interested in modeling and all that. So all she did was, she gave me Modela's number. I called and I was asked to come for the audition. I, did the audition. I made it. And back in the days, whether you know or you don't know anything about modeling, when you're with Modela, after you've paid all, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, it's like a school, like a modeling school, because you go for lectures. I can remember we used to go for lectures like 3 times a week.
Wow.
Yeah, we go on Mondays, on Wednesdays, and then we go for like a practical on Sunday where we do the catwalking and all of that. And then that's where we also get audition notice, where we go for auditions for billboards and all of that. So that's how I started. So it was modeling for me for a very long time. But however, there's a part of me that I really don't talk about right now anymore, because I can't say about going. Yeah, maybe I have. I used to be a professional dancer too.
You really show us some moves right now. I am dying to watch you work for us as an ex-model.
Where-
But you still model.
Yes, I do, but I do basically commercials and all of that right now. I hardly do runway
You
anymore.
hardly do runway anymore, but
Yeah.
you did runway. things.
Yes.
So I am dying for you to dance a little bit, even though it's just.
Well, I'm very sure of what I said when I talked about dancing. I said I used to be. Yeah, I used to be a dancer too, So, but professionally, like I said earlier on, modeling was the first thing for me when it comes to entertainment. But prior to that, um, I've been doing music in church, in the church. I'm an instrumentalist. Yeah, I play the drums. I play a little bit of guitar, and also so music has been always been part of me. You understand? But I just never knew that I was going to make it a profession at some point. But it has always been part of me. So it got to a point. I think when I was about leaving secondary school, that was when it dawned on me that okay, you could actually do music. So and I was going to do medicine in in the university. So I thought about it like okay, maybe you'd be a doctor that does music.
Oh.
You know.
But you still had the modeling thing going on for you.
Yes, I
But
started.
then you had
No, like I said, music has always been part of me.
part of you.
But it wasn't. I didn't start doing it professionally. The first thing, when it comes to entertainment, the first thing I started doing professionally was modeling. But music was always part of me. Do you understand? I started playing drums while I was in primary school before I left primary school. You get so in secondary school I picked it up again and it became like the thing I played for a lot of churches I wouldn't want to mention, because of yeah. So that's what's up. So but music has always been part of me. I just never knew that I was going to really
Make it a thing.
do you understand? So while I was in the church doing my music, doing the instrumentalist thing and all of that, it was modeling that I was just focused on doing majorly. So the very first time and then dancing, of course.
Oh yeah.
Dancing, of course. I danced in the very first Nigerian video that was premiered on Channel.
Really?
Yes, I was in that video as a dancer.
As a dancer?
Yeah, that's a long time
Do
ago.
you remember the music? Do you remember the...
Of course, I can remember the music. It was a song done by Wavelength. Wavelength was a duo of Ronke and Just Styles. Just Styles is late now. May God bless his memories. And then they featured Azizat and Zidane on that song.
Wow, I wish we could get the right now so we can see
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So basically, they had two videos. One was Yolua, and then so Yolua was that video which premiered on the first Nigerian music video that was showed on channel. So that was it. So and that was immediately after I finished secondary school too. So I've been dancing and all of that. And there was a time I was like one of the dancers for ZIP, Zidane, Ise and Paul, before Zidane went solo. Yeah, he used to be in a group, ZIP. And so I was like one of the dancers, back in the days. So that was it.
How did you port from being a dancer, model back then? How did you port into
music,
acting? Or which one came first?
Music.
It was music.
Yeah.
So how did you port? Was it easy for you?
It was easy. I wouldn't say I ported or anything because the thing, like I said, music was always part of me. Okay. You understand what I mean? Like I said earlier on. But when I decided that, okay, I'm always around musicians and all of that. I could sing and all of that. So why don't I do a song too of my own? Because while I was doing all of those dances and all of that, I usually do backups too for this.
A man of many talents.
You get, so I usually do, but it is music. You understand what I mean? So I usually do backups for them at shows and all of that because I could sing and I knew, all of their songs and their lyrics and all of that. So sometimes when they're just doing music, song or performing a song and it's not like it's a full band with the dancers and all of that, I do backup and all. So, and then we had a studio at the house because as at that time I started staying with my big brother Ronke, who also into the music. I had a studio at the house. So in 2004, to be precise, that was the first time I recorded.
Your first single.
Yeah.
Do you still remember your first single?
Of course I do. It was a gospel song.
It was a gospel.
Yeah, it was a gospel song titled Ontoshe. You want me to sing it?
Yeah.
Is that what you want?
Yes, please.
Okay. I give you praise because of Ontoshe for me. Oh, I gotta give you praise Ontoshe for me. Oh, for everything we do. Oh, On to share for me, oh, I'm gonna give you praise. On to share for me, oh.
Wow.
That was the chorus back in the
was
days.
2004, right?
Yes.
2004, and we're listening to it right now. And I can
That's a long
absolutely say
time
I will
ago.
still download that music and still want to listen to it.
I was pretty young, but I wanted to do a song, and it came out really good.
Yeah.
I featured Zidane on that song. Yeah, I can remember
How
vividly.
far did you push Onto Shea?
It went as far as it could. Yeah, like I said, it was a gospel song, and then back in the days, gospel song had limits. So, do you understand? But I mean, it got to where I performed at different places, churches. Okay, the highlight of it was I performed that song at the very first celebration.
Really?
Yes. Okay, let me give you a very small story.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stories. Let me give you a small gist about that. Okay. The very first celebration was handled by LaFace, if I can remember vividly, and it was a friend of the house. I was always following. Like I said, I was a dancer to ZIP and all of that. You get, but as at that time, I had my song, which is On to Shea, and also when we go to shows, sometimes I get opportunities to perform. Now it's funny because it's a gospel song and it was at the shrine.
Shrine, yes. How did you communicate? How
It
did you
wasn't
get your
so. What to me actually is this. That day, the very first day, because the very first celebration, like they usually do now,
Yeah.
ran for a week.
Yeah.
It started from like a Monday, and so I think it was on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I can't remember vividly, like I got an opportunity to get on stage and I did that song, and it was funny that people were vibing to it. People had their stuffs in their mouth and all of that, but they were vibing to it, and so I liked it. And okay, that was it, right? So the next day, was it the next day or 2 days later, we went to the shrine again. Somebody who was like a friend of the house was performing, and then some people came to and were like, "Oh," I'm like, really?
Really? That must have been something.
It meant a lot to me. Come on, I felt really good. The guy was singing that. He even told me, he said like, out of everybody that performed that day, that the only song he could remember.
Onto Shea. Wow.
So, and then because of the reception, because of how people received the song, I think I don't know how I got that inspiration, because the first thing I said when I got on stage, because I knew I was going to do a gospel song, was everybody has been doing a lot of songs. It would be good to praise, God. And we're like, yeah.
Even if it was in a competition.
You get, and the thing came out really good, and so because of the reception, they now billed me to perform on the main day, which was the Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Now it wasn't just that I was going to perform, with the big names and all of that, but who did I perform after? Do you know when somebody?
Were you an opening act?
I was supposed to be an opener, but I eventually didn't. That's what I'm telling you. So a lot of big names had performed before me. Now, Face performed. I can remember. Then, as at that time, Konga's song, that Bosi Konga was like the talk of. Do you understand? Now, Konga went on stage and did all of his stuff. Then they now called me after Konga. You can imagine me and upcoming at my first. Then now I'm coming to do a gospel song.
Wow. Moving along, let's talk about
my album. My kind of music.
Your kind of music.
That's what the title of the album is.
My kind of music.
My kind of music.
Tell us what inspired that album.
Okay. First of all, I just told you earlier on that my very first single was in 2004, right? So, and my first album just dropped in 2021. That's like how many years? That's a long time. So the thing is, I've been doing music for a very long time. It has only been one single or the other, because we believed, first of all, that you have to become very relevant before you drop an album. However, in between, I left the country for a while, for more than 5 years. You get, so coming back, I had to start all over again. People who I started with, things don't happen. The likes of Orezi, Arisong, there'll be. Myself and Orezi signed the same record deal on the same day.
What record?
Corbid Music, back in the day, Corbid Music. That was the label that signed Zidane also when he became a solo artist. So it was after him, we were like the next set of artists that were signed. You can imagine. So it's been a long time. You get. So I left. I came back. So I knew that I had to kind of start all over again. So it took a long time. So when I was going to release my kind of music, initially it was meant to be an EP.
Okay.
So I already had a few songs that, but I knew I needed to record more. And so when I started recording, I just kept on recording. And so I had a lot of songs and a few other songs that I know that if I don't release now, I would never release.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, so what do we do? Why don't we, the fans deserve more. Why are we trying to cut it short if you have more songs to give people? So that's how it became an album. Now, what inspired the album or the title of the album, my kind of music? Like I said earlier on, I feel like, I said that when I want to dish out a song, it has to speak to me first before I let it out. You get? Now, I also said earlier on that I also do not like to follow the crowd or the trend. Do you understand? So I have some specific type of music that speaks to me. Do you understand? The kind of music I feel that speaks to the soul. You get? Like I said earlier on, the fact that I said it speaks to the soul does not mean that it has to be low tempo. It could be up tempo and all of that. But so that's when I decided that, okay, I was going to do this. Now, the title came about, apart from the fact that I'm trying to show the people the kind of music that I do or how I feel music should sound like. Do you understand? I also decided that I would share my personal experiences and all of that, most of the things I've been through throughout this journey. Do you understand? And put it together and make it. So it's just me basically talking about my experiences, about love, about life generally, and putting it into that words. And so my kind of music is my story, my life, and the way I feel music should sound like.
You just put it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I was about to ask you a question, but you just basically answered everything. Now, what would you say is your favorite song out of the whole album?
Fitila, track 1.
Fitila.
Yeah.
Track 1.
Okay, yeah.
How many tracks?
It's a 10-track album, but with one bonus.
Okay, with one bonus.
So that makes it 11. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't want to count that as a track because it's a medley of. It was just, I call that song Memories. Okay. It's a medley of all the songs, most of the songs that reigned back in the days when I was young. So I took all the hooks, the choruses, and merged them together. I called it Memories.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would love to listen to that.
I'm sure you like it.
I would really love to.
Okay. I just want many people to say I don't take. You don't understand? So you don't.
Okay.
Don't. So Fitila is a song that is like my personal experience, my story, my triumph, my mistakes,
Speaks to you.
Yeah, it's
about who you are right now.
About my journey. About my journey so far when it comes to music. My first single was in 2004. And now I'm just dropping an album in 2000.
Been a long way.
You get?
Yeah.
It's been a long time. So Fitila speaks to me. Fitila, I know you know what Fitila is. It's a lamp. Do you understand? So you're gonna like it. Fitila toton, koma kishe fun fari o. Baba de mi lade oba karaye da mi mo. Fitila toton, koma kishe fun fari o. Baba de mi lade oba karaye da mi mo.
Beautiful. So why should anybody download this music? Why should anybody want to listen to this music? To the album.
Okay. What I try to do is sometimes we all have stories, right? Yeah. So sometimes it might not be just about me. Yeah. My story might be related to yours, might be related to us and everybody around. So when you listen to that album or some songs in that album, trust me to speak to you. It will talk about something that you must have gone through at some point. Do you understand that? And then people like different genre of music. So for the reggae lovers, there's a reggae song. For the folk lovers, there's a folk
Ballad.
song. For the Afro beat people, there's a song for
So
them.
there's basically
A song
everything.
for everybody. You get, so that's what's up.
A man for the people.
Not the small
Thank you
thing.
so much. All right. Now let's move along. Love that you spoke about your music.
Thank
Where
you.
can we download
I'm very
this music?
passionate about
About the
it.
music.
Everywhere,
Everywhere.
it's
It's out
everywhere,
and it's
everywhere, everywhere. Just type Ogyny, my kind of music, on Google. It will take you everywhere. Thank you.
Now let's talk about your acting career.
Yes, acting career.
Excited. Even more excited and music.
Well, let me not say that because of my fans. No, I was.
Okay.
The truth
I'll
is,
let it slide.
the truth is, I'm really, really, really passionate about music. I can talk from now till tomorrow about music. I will not get tired. Trust me. Music is my first love. You get, so love you, music. Let's go.
Let's go to your acting career.
Okay.
What have you worked on? Who have you worked with?
A lot. If we start from the series, I will talk about Teen Cell, we'll talk about, like I said earlier, on the Men's Club, Unbroken, African Magic Productions, a lot of them. But if you want to talk about movies, you talk about Blueprint, you talk about a lot that I can't remember, trust me. And then I do Yoruba movies too.
You do?
Yeah, you watch African Magic Yoruba. Okay, I'm a Yoruba boy.
Yoruba is fluent.
I'm a Yoruba boy.
Speak, okay. Our next question.
I try. It's a bit fluent because sometimes we just add English.
To a test.
Okay.
Our next question. You're going to answer in Yoruba.
Okay.
Apologies to everybody at home. We just want to put Yoruba to the test.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, so who would you love to work with in the movie industry right now? Who would you love to work with? Yoruba.
Yoruba.
Yes. No. You're answering the question.
Okay.
We're putting your Yoruba to the test.
Wọ́n ní pé àwọn ọ̀gá mi wo ni mo like láti bá ṣiṣẹ́. By máa ń fi English díẹ̀díẹ̀ ní you get. There's some ẹ má bínú Yorùbá ló yẹ kí n sọ. But I like láti bá RMD, Ramsey Noah. For some reason, ti bá wọn ṣiṣẹ́, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay.
So that's what's up. Yorùbá ni mo sọ ẹ̀, mo try.
Give me a pass mark for even though you were chipping in some English in between, right?
That's all.
That was cool.
Thank you.
Okay, so would you say the movie industry is where it should be right now?
It's not where it should be, but we did try. We don't try, go. Yeah, we don't try. Trust me.
Opinion.
In my opinion, we've really trust me. We've see. In terms of quantity, back in the days, we don't want them finish. We're number 3 in the world. One time, in fact, we're not like number 2 in the world. You get, but in terms of quality, that was where we had issues. But now, you want to make animation movies? Have you seen Rattlesnake? Have you seen Ineka the Pretty Serpent? Have you? Don't forget we don't try. As in, there are a lot of people who are actually putting a lot into it now. Back in the days, a lot of people did it for the love. So we love it. We know how to do it, and a lot of people learned on the job. But we have a lot of people going to school now to learn the art and the craft, and they are putting all that into. And so everything I don't worry, very soon, even Nollywood will beg us, forget. Sorry, Hollywood.
Okay, so in what ways do you think Nollywood movies can improve from where we are right now?
Okay, yes. Okay, in all fairness, yes, I just praised the industry and all of that, but we have a lot of issues that's still going on. Like, for instance, they still pay a lot of actors peanuts. Do you understand? So some people come out and they say they're actors, and then when people look at them, they're like, you be actor, and they must have, or maybe would have seen them in big movies and big productions, and then when you see them, you don't be like say anything there. Okay, the truth is, most of us, we have other stuff that we do. Most of us, up until tomorrow, we still do it because for the love of it. Now, Now only people really don't make name, they really make the money now, and then so that's it. We need people to invest more, to put in a lot of money, and then this producer should also, as much as they're thinking about the technical part and how lovely and nice the movie would look, they should also look out for the actors. Our pockets should also look nice, so everything should make them balance them up. You know, some people will call you and they will be offering you peanuts. If they fit down for actor themselves now.
Alright, now we understand. It is not, don't judge a book by its cover.
Look at it now, I'm becoming very nice.
Okay, so can I ask you this question really quick before we leave? What got you into acting?
The love. I've also been acting, obviously not professionally since primary school. Like we like to.
Isn't there anything you don't do since primary school?
See, the thing is, I think that most parents should watch their children and try and see what they like when they are young and try and encourage them to do it. Because the truth is, I really didn't have any reason to go to science class. But I did elect in school. I've never practiced for one day.
Wow.
So all those years spent doing that, I could have, if anybody, like my family had seen that the things I liked, that the things I like to do, and they had guided me somehow. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? All the time I wasted doing elected life, I don't think I can do something else now. Do you understand what I'm saying? So most of these things, people, like one of my brother, we could tell from when he was going to be an engineer because he wanted to do fix any. You understand what I'm trying to say? And I'm glad today that at least that is what he went. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So that's what's up. But for Nigeria, you are going to become a doctor. You are going to become a lawyer. So and we have one banker in our family. So your parents will now force everything on you. I think my first son should be a doctor. So that's always been the problem. So that's it. So it has always been this. So acting for me started way back, primary school dramas and all of that. When we were in church, secondary school, we do drama and all of that. So, what Yorubas would call abinibi, it has always been there. You understand? So when the opportunity came, I took it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Now, are you single? This is a question of. There's a ring here.
Yeah. So I'm married. Thank you.
So he's married off the market. Sorry, ladies. Unfortunately.
Sorry.
Okay, so lastly, one word to your fans out there and what you think why you think they should listen to my kind of music.
Thank you very much. My people, I call them my people. Thanks for the love. Thanks for appreciating what we do and buying into what we do and loving us as we know even perfect reach. We really want to say a big thank you and please go listen to my kind of music. I put a lot into this to make you happy, so please make me happy by streaming, downloading, also by sharing and letting people know about it, because trust me, this is not me trying to, but the truth is it's a masterpiece. If you're not good, if you drop a comment, pass like that. Yab me if you have to, but it's all good. But please make me happy. I love you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for having me here.
Okay, lastly, before we go,
I like to come back again
with my question.
because there's a lot that we still have to talk about.
Yeah, definitely.
I like the environment.
Stay tuned to this channel, and to everybody, once again, make sure you download my kind of music. It is everywhere. Just type it on your Google and then it'll bring it
my
out.
kind of music.
Just download it and don't forget your handle on social media.
Okay, my handle on Twitter is at Ogyny. Ogyny spelled Ogyny. My handle on IG Instagram is at I am Ogyny. That's at IAMOGYNY Ogyny. That's what's up. Follow me for instant follow back.
Okay, now before we go, I want to arm wrestle him and see who wins. Yes, arm wrestle. Who will win this arm wrestle? Thank you for sticking with us. I'm gonna win this bad way.
Hey, we now.